ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Brokerock server. We are once again over at our base, and we're currently basically on a dead server. Like, only the fans are currently playing on here. I don't know what's going on with most of the Brokerockers. Just a hint. Oh, and hello, Grandma, because she will be seeing this. Anyway, as I look over to my kingdom, and I know I can rule it all. No, that's not what we're doing today, as much as that would be so much fun to just like start taking over everybody's bases. No, we are going to be finally building the farmhouse so we can actually get some sensible storage going, and everything we're going to need, well, I do say most of it to get the main build done, is all in these chests. Admittedly, I do need to clean all of this up, so this should be quite interesting and fun, and I'm probably going to have to move a lot of stuff. Yeah, so we'll do this in a third-person time-lapse, and I'll come up with something good to talk to you guys about in the meantime. Anyway, without further ado, run that time lapse. So this farmhouse that we're building today actually has a place in my heart, and this is because my grandma and granddad actually lived in a very similar building. Now, I have taken some creative licensing with this, where it was a brick building, and I thought let's turn it into more of a Tudor style building. I thought would look nice. Also, it gives it a bit more shape rather than just a standard red bricked building. It could, and we don't exactly have grey bricks, which, okay, we've got stone bricks, but that's not the same. Doesn't give the same effect either. So, Mojang, if you're listening, you can put that in. But yeah, anyway, and when I say farmhouse, it's one of many houses on the farm that have been converted from a barn actually into a house. And of course, my grandparents lived there, and my granddad would be up crack of dawn. Now, I mean, bang on 5 o'clock. This guy did not have an alarm clock. This guy literally just woke up 5 o'clock and he's up, and that's it. He'd go downstairs, go make a brew, bring one up for grandma, and then he'd be off. He'd to work. You wouldn't see him again then until about 5. You might see him go past in his tractor. That's about it. That'd be the last time you'd see him all day until he walked back through the door and bang on 5 o'clock. So, like, and all weathers, it didn't matter if it was snow, thunder and lightning, you name it, he was out in it. He didn't care at all. And then, of course, he'd get home, have a wash, and the first thing that he would do is go and tend on his garden. This thing was gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Like, you just said a team of men spent time doing this, and this is basically one guy. Grandma used to deadhead and do the odd bits and bobs, but Granddad was the one that really, like, he'd spend all day out there if he could. So this place has always had a real place in my heart, because I used to spend my summers there. And it went from helping Grandma with her job that she used to do. Well, I say her job, helping her doing her job. It was usually I'd go and try and find toys in somebody else's house while she cleaned it. And she'd always leave that room last, because I'd make a worse mess than what it probably was before she started. So, yeah. And yeah, she'd do all the houses on the farm. She even did the main house. Now, this thing was huge, the main house. It got an indoor swimming pool that was actually inside a conservatory. Like, indoor swimming pool. Back then, it was like an indoor swimming pool. What? I mean, tennis courts, you name it, they had it. Their bedroom looked like a modern day living room. It was huge. Their playroom was literally the length of the house. They had a snooker table. Not a pool table, a full-size snooker table in their playroom. Like, what? Who has money for that? Anyway. So, as I got older, one of the managers of the farm actually said to my granddad, why don't you let your grandson help you on the farm? And that just meant doing odd jobs around the farm, like helping him clean the chickens out first thing in the morning. At 6 o'clock in the morning, chasing chickens is not fun, because you ain't never going to catch them unless you can corner them, and that is never going to happen. So we'd have to collect the eggs, shoo them all out the cages, and actually like let them roam the grounds, and they would never go very far ever. So we never really had to worry too much about them getting lost or anything. They would always come back. And then we'd have to get the hose and clean all the poo up. Like, oh, that was disgusting. But it killed 2 hours in the morning anyway. And, well, can you imagine in the winter? And, like, the water's freezing faster than it's coming out the end of the hose pipe. It's no good. And then, of course, it would be... Once we'd done that, we'd then have to go up to either the top field to go get the manure that then needs to be taken down to the bottom field so that it can be spreaded. It all depended on what type of year it was. Like, sometimes we'd have to go up to the very top field to go and get what the harvester collected out of it and then go and take that to wherever. Or we'd have to go clean out the horses. A lot of it was just maintenance, really, just standard maintenance where, like, trees are starting to overgrow, so we got to cut the trees down and then we got to burn them. You ever tried to set fire to evergreens? They really are hard to start, but then once they go, they really go. So, and of course, there's me riding around on the back of the tractor or in the trailer. Grandad actually used to pick us up. If me and Grandma had been into town and I wasn't helping him that weekend, he'd pick us up at the, I think it was the south entrance? Might have been the south entrance, yeah, he used to pick us up in the back of the trailer. Of course, Grandma would sit on the trailer and there's me, like, Jack the lad, stood up like, woohoo! Like I'm in a limo. Oh... what else? Also, this is the same farm that I actually used to fish on. Me and my granddad actually had one spot where this is the only place that we used to fish. We'd try other spots, but like if we were ever having a bad day, we'd always go back to this corner spot, and it was because the plants in the river created almost still point. Like you could see where the plant come up to the surface, and then it went out in a ring, and if you got it just right, if you could hit your float in that just that right spot, it would not move. And I tell you now, the fish love to be there. We pulled out some crackers from that corner, and we used to, and sometimes the professionals would actually be fishing on the river. Now me and my granddad would always fish that corner. It was only when one year we got there and some guy had noticed that he could see that somebody disturbed that area, so he was like, somebody's been fishing already here, so this might be a good spot. And I am not kidding, we stood there for 10 minutes and he was literally just pulling them out the water. He's floated at the water and he's already reeling them back in again because it was our spot. So, yeah, we may have gotten a little bit of trouble for that one, but oh well, you know, these things happen. Actually, something I should really start going fishing again. Hey guys, should I do a live stream on fishing? You let me know. Anyway, because I don't want this episode to go on for absolutely ever and ever and ever and ever, let's go back to the actual finished build and let's start on the first room. So, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I have put a slight floor plan together, to just sketch together. So right now, I'm doing the kitchen. And if I'm right in remembering, this building originally was a barn. And then it was converted, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It was absolute years ago. The actual farm itself now no longer actually exists, which is a shame. It went out of business a while ago, and I don't have any more granite on me. Where is it? Nope. A hole. Lovely. Oops. I do love the way that bone blocks sound when you play some. It's like really satisfying. Don't know what it is, but they are so satisfying to listen to. One. Oh my god, how many times am I going to crouch on a block and then walk off it? So yeah, originally this was going to be quartz in the kitchen, but I decided against it just because I think it's going to be too white. I wanted a bit more texture on the walls. I think it's going to look okay. I'm not 100% sure. I think I've got too many bone blocks here. Probably do. That's an issue that I need to deal with after. Oh, I didn't think that bit through there either. Oops. So many people may know that I do this where I always leave at least a 1 block gap all the way around the edge. And for those wondering why I do this is mainly so I can add more depth, one, to the outside of the build, which most people would just say, well, why don't you just build an extra block out? Well, it doesn't give the same effect than what I'm trying to go for. Hooray, parkour skills. Woohoo! Do I have a different type of block on? I'll have to use wood. So with this kitchen, something that I always remember from when I was younger is we always used to come up the road shouting at the top of our lungs in the car. Remember, she can't hear us from where we are. Grandma, put the kettle on. Like proper screaming it in the car. And she'd always be able to see us when we pulled up out of this window. And then, of course, just out this window, you could see the road, and you could also see the barns that have been basically used as sheds now. And also, you could just start to see part of the garden, which was absolutely beautiful. Like, you will never, ever, ever see another garden like it, probably ever again. The thing was gorgeous. And unfortunately, we don't have pictures of it. Like, I was absolutely gobsmacked when they were like, we don't have any pictures of it. Like, what? In the summer, this thing looked like it had been modelled. Like somebody, it was just saved in time. Somebody got it perfect and then just gone save. And my granddad used to work on it every day. Now, he worked on the farm himself. Doing bits and bobs and stuff, which I did already go into. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Looking for the cauldron. And the cauldron was right there. So this is where the sink would have been. Obviously, probably come out a little bit further than that. We then want a side there, and I need another furnace. I may change that actually to a smoker. I also want to put a crafting bench hidden inside this room because this build is going to be functional, I hope. So if I just place that there. Oh, thank you, Mr. P, who's just slept for us. Draining board and furnace. I think we'll leave it as a furnace for now. I can always change it later. So, and draining board, because that looks like a draining board to me. I don't know about anybody else. I'm also going to put a tripwire hook there to like indicate the tap. What else are we missing? What else are we missing? Where's the middle of this? Yeah. Oh, I know what we're missing. We're missing the fridge. So yeah, this was like a really, really strange place to put a freezer, like right in the way. Never understood why it was here, but it was. But, you know, never really questioned it, to be honest. It was always just one of those things that was at Grandma's. Fridge was always here. I'm actually going to use quartz. Where's my quartz? Where is my quartz? Black quartz. And I think I put that all the way to the ceiling. I'll have to check the build that I've got saved. Once I saved, it's like written down somewhere. So, and then you've got I really want that to come out that little bit further, but I can actually just do this. This should work as well. Yeah, that looks alright. Admittedly, as much as I'd want that to come out that little bit extra, it's just not capable. Because I'd have to pull this side out then, and then the room's all out of proportion and it's all not even, and that's going to drive me absolutely doolally tapped because I don't like any of that type of stuff. Now we need to sort out this issue that we're going to have here. So I want that stair there, and then that stair there, and then of course, yeah. And then I think it went up and matched with the ceiling. And this was only because of a design issue, really. And now for the iron door. Seriously, 3 iron doors? I forgot they even made that change. Awesome. And then, do I have enough on me to make? Yes, I do. I don't know why I keep making levers. I have hundreds in chests all over the shop. So now, of course, if I need to access anything, I can nice and easily. And as far as anybody's concerned, that's a fridge. Bit tall to say it's only got 2 compartments, but it's a fridge. Why does that feel wrong? I think this went back a bit, but that's no worries. I can always change that after. But yeah, and then I can look out on my domain. Like, I do still need a lot of stuff needs doing. Like, yeah, I haven't got enough coal, so I need to go do some coal mining. Because my plan is to put, of course, coal around the outside of this, so that you then get that, like, can't think what it is that they used to use on the old type of windows, where I think it was cast iron. I think it was cast iron that they used to put in between each pane of glass, but I'm going to put it around the edge here, and hopefully it'll give it almost the same effect. I could mess around with my texture pack and actually change it in the textures, but I don't want to do that really unless I just make that one change. That might be a plan just for this build. We'll have to see. That's definitely one of those that need to be sorted later. And then, of course, this would then be the living room, which is actually really quite an interesting build. There's a lot going on. You've got a fireplace there. We've got a budgie in here somewhere. We've got also another room just over here. But unfortunately, ladies and germs, I'm going to leave it there because you guys seem to enjoy these shorter episodes. So, with that, I'm going to leave it here. And I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please share it with your friends. Don't forget to go and check out the other videos on my channel. Redstone for basically survival. Automatic potion brewers. What did I do last? A silent or elevator design, which is not really survival. That's like a really hard build. That's not for your starter builds at all. That's more like that's gonna take me 6 hours. Anyway. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, then don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, because that way you will get notified when I upload next. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay. I've been Joker, and I'll see you in a mini money mo. Ta-ta for now. Don't break anything. No, thank God.